My name is Dr. Courtney Johnson and I represent Johnson Learning Systems. And today we're going to be talking about place value, which is the first objective within our third grade math book, Math Fluency in Problem Solving. Now in the state of Texas, place value is represented by a standard titled 3.2a. It's a pretty long standard. Compose and decompose numbers up to 100,000 as a sum of so many 10,000s, so many thousands, so many hundreds, so many tens, and so many ones using objects, pictorial models, and numbers, including expanded notation as appropriate. Now, I'm going to break that down into three different parts so we can understand it. The first part is to compose and decompose numbers. Now, the word compose means to put something together. And what we're going to be putting together are base 10 blocks. Base 10 blocks begin with units. This is 1 unit and this is 1 unit. And we know that 1 unit plus 1 unit equals 2 units. I just composed a number. Now I'm going to decompose this back into 1 plus 1. That's the first part of this standard. Now let's move on to the second part. Compose and decompose numbers up to 100,000 as a sum of so many 10,000s, so many thousands, so many hundreds, so many tens, and so many ones. What does that mean? It's talking about place value. On the next slide, I'm going to show you a place value chart. Now within this place value chart, I have already added some value to this place value chart. Now in the ones place, we have 3 ones. That is the so many ones it was talking about. In the tens place, we have 4 tens. Each one of these units represents 10 units, and we have 4 tens, and 4 tens is going to be 40. We also have 2 hundreds. Each one of these 100 flats represents 100 units, and 100 plus 100 is 200, and we have 2 units. In the thousands place, we have 1,000, which is represented by 1,000 cube. This is 1,000 units. And moving on lastly to the 10,000s place, we're going to have 5 unit cubes to represent 5 10,000s. Now I'm going to introduce you to expanded form. You've seen expanded form before in second grade and first grade, but expanded form means to add the values. You add the values to come up with a standard number, which is the number that I have created is 51,243 when you add up all the values using the expanded form. Now, another way to decompose this number is with expanded notation, which is also mentioned in the objective. Now, expanded notation is dealing with multiplication. Expanded form, adding. Expanded notation, multiplying. Let's make sure we know the difference between both of those. Now we're going to decompose this number, and you see we're decomposing it again with multiplication. And with expanded notation, you have to multiply the values and then add the values to come up with a standard form. And again, standard form only means a regular whole number, a regular normal number. Now on the next slide, I'm going to break down the rest of this standard. Now the last part of the standard, it says using objects, pictorial models, and numbers, including expanded notation as appropriate. Now we've already seen the objects that we're using, which is place value blocks. Now the next part is pictorial models. A pictorial model, the base word of pictorial is picture. So it is a problem dealing with a picture of the base 10 blocks. And lastly, we've been dealing with the numbers in helping us to come up with place value. We're going to end up moving on, and I'm going to show you some examples on the next slide of what these problems look like in action. The first problem that you're looking at is an expanded form problem. You see expanded form in the problem, and expanded form means adding. Do you see adding within the answers? It lets you know we're dealing with expanded form. The second problem that we're going to deal with is expanded notation. Now within this problem, you see the words expanded notation, and you also see multiplication. As we just discussed, expanded notation represents multiplication. Expanded form represents what? Addition. And lastly, this is a pictorial model, and we're taking these base 10 blocks and turning them into a picture. Remember, the base word of pictorial is picture. Thank you for your time, and if you have any more questions or if you're not understanding all the way, just go ahead and rewind this video and watch it again. Thank you for your time.